lunga Samoa Ia mua mua Lea tua I mea uma Samoa Ia tau tuana
Batia, Luopati, Luopati, ça s'en va, ça s'en va.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing today? Good to be back. Haven't done something like this in a while, and man, I miss it. I miss my own intro. It's not like I sit at home and watch my intros, but yeah, I miss that. Missed you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. This is David, the Simon Watchman. Just back to talk a little bit. Lately, I just been doing some bass streams, and um, there's a lot that I've been wanting to cover, and I just don't get the chance. Um, I've been really busy. I got work, got a second job, and got a lot of family events going on. Some very what's the word? Significant events going on. One of the big events, one that you don't want to go through, funerals and things like that. Um, and life, man. Just life. Lots been going on. A lot has been going on, but I'm in good spirits. And well, my goal is to share what I see and share experiences with you all. Anything that I feel like might help somebody along the way. And in this time, it's what 2:39 in the morning. I got things to do tomorrow. It's my day off, but I got a full day and some really important things I got to take care of. And so I can't be on here too long, but this is the only chance I get to talk to you guys, and I just want to come up here and share. Um, Lately, I've been having ideas, videos, and that the list of ideas just goes on. Um, Things that I want to show you guys, things I want to talk about, and it's just sitting there, man. It's just piling up on things that I can potentially share on YouTube, but just I gotta go through the life situations first, and then present it. So that's gonna be on the back burner for now. I found me some time. I came home and I have to do a couple things tomorrow, which includes going to the DMV and includes going to the records department to get a birth certificate. I had to find my birth certificate for what I needed tomorrow, and I realized I couldn't. I don't have it. At the same time, I'm listening to people go live on karaoke. I'm like, man, I want to hop up there and get a song in, or I want to go live and play my bass. It helps me to relax, and there's all kinds of things I want to do, but I can't because I had to find my birth certificate for tomorrow. Things I got to do that's very important, and so um, isn't it funny though? I finally give up on looking for my birth certificate. I finally give up, and then I'm like, man, let me just plug in my amp and get it all set up so I can do a bass stream. And my amp is down underneath my desk and pushed back towards the wall. So then I reach back there and then I find this folder. I'm like, what's in here? Right? I go, I think I put something in here. And there it is, my birth certificate. So I wasted 2 hours of my time and missed out on the karaoke streams. But it's all good. You know, I always see we got some people here. Is it Mine or mine? I see you, a lot of channels. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Steve, what's up, brother? Aloha. Hey, man, how you doing, brother? I saw you earlier on Deb's karaoke stream. I was in and out, as always, in and out. Had to do some deliveries. Had to do some laundry. Our dryer's broken, so I got to do laundry in the laundromat. And so, you got to run around looking for change and pulling money out of the bank just to get some change and putting a whole damn $20 bill into the change machine works my nerve. But yeah, you know, amen to that. God's got my back, yes sir. As you as well, and everybody else in the chat. Don't ever forget that, man. That's something that we tend to forget in the middle of adversity. Well, Scat Pack, good to see you. How's that Mustang going? One of the surviving V8 muscle cars. You know what I'm saying? They're all going out. I'm afraid the Mustang will be done in a couple of years. Camaro's done. The Challenger looks like it's on its way out. They're going to become some kind of EV, because of the whole plan of getting us out of these gas guzzlers and back into electric cars. It's a stupid thing. Stupid thing. It pisses me off how people just fall for it. I drive, I deliver Uber, meals at night after I'm done with my day job and helping the kids with school and all that, children with school, excuse me. Um, and at the there's these charging stations open all night, and I see people out there parked in these charging stations, sitting there on their phones, watching a movie on their phone because they got to charge their car. It's just sad. You know what I mean? They're like these charging stations, people are just there all night sitting there charging their those fancy electric cars. Yeah, good choice, people. Let's see. It's still here for now. Yep. Yep. Look at another Hellcat for the last production. Is it really the last of the challengers? Oh man. Yeah. I would get one of each if I could, just to keep it alive for a little bit. Everything's going electric. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, especially for if you're a car person. If you like, the naturally aspirated V8, just it is what it is. But yeah, recently had a lot of events going on, and well, there's been some tragedies. People pass away. It is what it is, part of life. But it's funny. We're just having this conversation over and over. As there's been back-to-back funerals. One thing we're starting to realize is that as tight as a family can be, or community can be, funerals tend to bring out a different side of people. True emotions come out. The way people feel about you comes out. It's sad. It really is. People say that they're loving, that they care about you, and then they lose somebody, and you try to give them your all, and you see a different person come out. Very unfortunate, and I've been, doing my best to try to support, in different ways. And I guess some people really just, when it comes down to it, nobody will value your time like you do. And if you're that kind of person like I am, where I appreciate, somebody does something for me, and I'm going to acknowledge that and thank them, let them know that I appreciate it. There's different love languages, and I'm really at love. I take 3 of them on, words of affirmation. I like to be encouraged, and I like to encourage others, to kind of give them a little pep talk here and there, encouragement when they're down, speak life into them, give them something good to think about, something to look forward to when they're down. Physical touch, a handshake, a hug goes a long way with me. A pat on the back, or you just grabbing somebody and give them a bear hug. What I mean? It does something for some people. I'm that kind of person, um, grew up hugs, what I'm saying? Some people don't like it. For me, it goes a long way. But service, that's another love language. As I've grown, I appreciate now good service. I really do. When someone does a job and they do it good, um, I acknowledge that and I recognize it right away, and I let people know when they're doing something really good. I'm like, hey, man, you blew me away. The level of service you're providing, it's awesome. Thank you. I like to tip big. I learned that from one of my coaches. Tip big, no matter what. Even if the service is crap, I'll let them know it's crap, but I'm still gonna tip big because people, there's a big effort that goes into providing good service. Some people are just not, maybe they're not good at it. They just haven't gotten the skill. But when I see people are naturally trying to provide a good service, man, that goes a long way with me. That's why I work in the service industry. I fell in love with the company that I work for now. I was a customer, and they treated me so good every time I showed up. And I'm like, man, you guys rock, man. You guys are awesome. The service you guys provide made me a big fan of your company, and now I work for them. That's my day job. And now I am providing that service, right, Steve? There's nothing better than a big hug. I'm telling you, man. My brother just testified about that on my birthday at church, when we lost our dad. Um, Man, was it 3 years ago? 4 years? 2019. Um, he never forgot when we got the call or the text message at church. Me and my brother were both playing in the band. I was the bass player. He was a guitar player, and he got the text message right in the middle of our worship. And he grabs my hand and he's like, "Come in the back. I need to tell you something." He takes me to the back, and he takes me to the bathroom, which is the only place we could go where we could find privacy. And he starts crying. It's like, "Dad died." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "He died. I just got the call." And I gave him a big hug, and I cried. I whimpered out a cry, like just for a split second. I was like, "Ah," and then I held it back. I was like, "You know what? I can't. Not right now. I got to be strong for my little brother." And I stopped it, and he was bawling, and he's probably watching right now. He's at work. I said, "Hey, go ahead and go, man. I'm gonna finish up church. It's Mother's Day. I got to give out these gifts, and I gotta, acknowledge the mothers in our church and make them feel special. I made something nice for all of them. Um, Let me finish this service, and I'll be right behind you." I told him, go ahead. My stepmother was at the hospital with my dad, and give him a big hug and say, "Look, don't cry on the freeway, man. Get there first, and then cry. Just get there safe, and I'll be there to say bye to Dad." Um, and I finished up the service, and went and took care of business. It's funny too, because we finished the church service. We acknowledged all the mothers. We gave them their lays. We gave them their gifts. I made them. I engraved these silver plates for them, and then here comes my father-in-law giving me a big hug. He already knew. He could. He figured something happened. For my brother to take off like that, and he comes up and gives me a big hug, and I never forget his words. He goes, "Hey, you're ready for whatever happens. Okay, you're ready. Yeah, don't worry. We got the kids. Just go." I go, "No, I'll take the kids. I'll take the kids. Let me just get out of here." But I never forget that hug he gave me. Yeah, hugs are healing. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You never know. There's just it's just love in a physical sense. Somebody can, say something nice to you, and that's all good. That's all gravy. But when they give you a big hug, they just grab you and just take hold of you. Oh man, it's you feel like a little baby, right? Just swaddled and comforted. Uh, why am I getting goosebumps? Anyway, yeah, man, it means a lot. And so, anyways, recently we've been having some events like this go on, funerals and all that, and we see the ugliness come out of some people, and it's sad. It really is. And I'll never forget Coach Art Williams. If you're interested, there's a book called Coach, and it's by Art Williams, who's a billionaire, but he's a very humble guy. He was a high school football coach, one of the greatest encouraging motivational videos ever made was him speaking at a religious event. He founded a company called Primerica, which is one of those multi-level marketing companies, but the dude was just awesome. Great, great, great at talking with people and coaching people and helping people get better. The company is still different than what it was when he was running it, when he founded it, but great person to learn from. And one of the things he'd love to say it's just that people are going to do what people are going to do. When you're trying to build something, when you're trying to cultivate a community, when you're trying to lead people, people will let you down. It's just part of the thing. It's part of the game. It's part of life. whether it's a church, a sports team, whether it's a business you're running. If you have a group of construction workers and you're trying to, you know, lead the company, whatever it is. Um, Sad to say, people will let you down. There's always going to be somebody, you know what I mean? It's always going to be one person that's going to be defiant or negative or delusional or whatever, just always pessimistic. You're trying to lead the way and they always want to go the other way, um, which is a good thing. And sometimes that was my dad. That was my dad. Everybody goes this way, my dad's going that way. And I learned that from him. That's probably why I don't believe half the things that they say on TV. Or I'm like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? When information is brought up. Anyways, people will let you down. And that could be so discouraging, man. When people get like that, the ugliness comes out, man, it kills it. It kills it for everybody. You're just like, man, I don't even want to be here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be a part of this. Go ahead, you can have it. You know what I'm saying? You can easily get upset. And, if you're a road rager like I am sometimes, you just, sometimes it's just like, whatever, you can have it. I'm out. That's just me sometimes. But I got to remind myself, not everybody's going to see things the way you see it. So just let them have it. It's all good. We're just going to move on and just take it for what it is. And I love when Coach Williams would say that, hey, people are going to do what people are going to do. Anyways, I'm starting this little thing I've been thinking about. This will be episode 1, a little series, if you want to call it that. Just people who, just how I was talking about people, sometimes they will let you down, which is what the Bible says. Numbers 23:19 says, God is not a man that he should lie. Amen to that. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and it shall not make it good? Meaning God's a man of his word. When he says something, when he says you're going to be blessed, when he says you're going to receive, when he says this is going to happen, you can take it to the bank. It's not like men. Men will say one thing but mean another. They'll say something, but it's not the whole truth. Which has kind of been the case with these people that let me down recently. So I just got to remind myself, like, hey, they're just people. You know what I'm saying? They're just men, women. They're just people. They're humans. They're going to say something and, it might not be the total truth. And so I got to learn to kind of move on and don't take it personal. Don't stay angry. I got to get over it myself because that person's not going to come over here and apologize. It's all right. It's all right. But anyways, I wanted to start this series of people who've left an impression on me. I feel like everything that happens to you is for a reason. It's with purpose. God doesn't let you go through things all willy-nilly. No, you go through situations. And you should know that in full confidence that God will bring you through it, that you're going through it, and God knows that you have the power and the ability to go through it and come out the other side, as winning, as you're still a champion. God knows what you're going through, man. Don't ever think that what you're going through is all that bad. If you're going through it, it's already been vetted. It's already been thought of. God already saw the situation. I'm like, she can handle it. He can handle it. Don't worry. They're fine. They'll be all right. And you got to trust, that God knows what he's doing as you're going through your crap, as you're going through your mess. And sometimes I need somebody to remind me of that, so here's me reminding you, everything you go through is for a reason. It's for you to learn. It's for you to meet somebody. It's for you to inspire somebody. It's for you to be inspired. It's for you to be humbled. It's for you to, go through a little pain. Sometimes we got to go through some pain, in order to learn a lesson or in order to figure things out or in order to learn, okay, maybe I shouldn't be headed this way, or maybe I shouldn't have made that decision back then. You go through situations, and I think that everything that happens to you happens with reason. And I think that every person you meet is in your life for a reason. They might be a terrible person, but they're there for a purpose for you. You just got to have the mature eyes to see it. Yeah. Steve says, I know God's got my back. You don't even know how bad I needed this. Oh, man, that's cool, brother. Everything you just said and are saying just answered all the questions. Man, God bless you, Steve, my brother. You know, that's cool. I'm glad, Walt. Hey, that makes me feel good, man. It really does. Um, I feel like we all have a message for people, you know, and all the credit to God. I should have been asleep right now, but I've just been having a lot on my mind and a lot to share. Whatever you're going through, man, Steve, you know what's up, man. The Bible says we are more than overcomers, you know, and the devil, man, as crazy as he is, and you best believe he's a smart person, man. The devil knows exactly how to push our buttons. He knows exactly how to make us feel terrible, regretting things, regretting life, regretting decisions. He knows exactly. He's the master of it, man. Think about that. Think about that. I have a wife. I love her to death. She knows how to push my buttons. So, it's almost like she's the master at that, like of derailing me. You got to think about that. There's an enemy out there who's real. Not my wife. I'm just as an example. But there's an enemy out there who really does hate you so bad while you're doing your thing, living your life. There's an enemy out there who hates the crap out of you, and then sitting there, plotting all these schemes to try to get you to fail and to feel bad about your life. But I want you to know, man, God's sitting there just kind of like, watching you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, look at my son go. Watch him press through this crap right here. Like, watch him overcome. It's amazing, man. Sometimes you gotta sit there and think about that. And you got a father up there, a dad watching you. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, hopefully, things that we do here, things what I do here will impact somebody. To help them throughout their day. Thanks for sharing that, Steve. Man, it means a lot. And again, I hope you guys are doing well up there. In Hawaii. Um, you know, I know it's beautiful, and I know there's some challenges too. I'm saying I think you guys are more expensive than we are out here. Anyways, again, everybody you meet, man, don't forget that there is purpose. I want to share today about one individual, and there's been many. There's a lot of people I want to share about, just random people. When I sit there and think about how I grew up, um, I start to think, I'm like, dang, the reason why I like this kind of music is because there was this one individual. I don't even think about that person anymore, but they left an impression on me. Or the reason why I like this kind of food is because I met so and so, and they just kind of, they got me on it. You know what I'm saying? So people leave an impact, and sometimes I think about that, like, what kind of impact am I leaving on people, if anything? Not that I'm looking for the credit, but I want to make sure that I'm a good influence on people. I want to make sure I'm a good influence on my children, of course. But hopefully I help somebody out there who's in need as I go through my deliveries and I see people out there on the streets. I'm like, man, somebody, wasn't there to catch that person. I see them out there scraping for food, and when I pick up deliveries, I'll try to give them a little bit, a couple dollars here and there whenever I can. But I'm like, we got to be there for each other. And you never know, man, the way you live your life, when people are watching, especially these days, you're all over the place, especially if you're going to put yourself on camera. People are watching you, everything you do, everything you say, it leaves an impression. It influences people. So we got to be careful about what we say, And so there was a man today, for some reason, I don't know why I was thinking about A1. There's a gentleman named A1. He was like a legend at the airport. I used to work at the airport. Hey, Sharon, good morning. Hey, is it morning? 3:03 in the morning. Yes, it is. There was a gentleman. I used to work at the airport. One of my many jobs. I was working logistics, shipping cargo on an airplane. We have freighters, which are full 747s filled with cargo, and we also have line flights. Every time you get on an airplane, the bottom half of the airplane is not just your luggage. The bottom of the airplane holds a lot of stuff. There's a lot of room down there. So we ship cargo down there. People don't realize they're on airplanes with radioactive material, corrosive material, explosives. Small doses, but there's explosive, dry ice, which suck the oxygen out. So we can't put too much dry ice on an airplane with people. Or else they don't they make it to Miami, but they're all suffocated. Yeah, you're on an airplane with a bunch of material downstairs, and if you knew about it, you probably wouldn't approve of it. But of course, it's small amounts, so it's safe for a passenger to be on a plane. I was part of one of the guys who was hazmat certified. Guns, yeah, dead people, bodies. You're flying on an airplane. You don't know there's people underneath you that have gone, and they're being shipped back home with you. People don't realize um, all the stuff that goes on the bottom of an airplane. But yeah, that used to be my job, and I remember I started off in the office. I got hired 2005 to work for Swissport Cargo Services, and we serviced like United Airlines, Lufthansa, Swiss Air. I think we had 28 different contracts, and I got to ship a lot of exotic cars, all the Fast and Furious movies. A lot of those cars came from Europe, brought over to be a prop in a movie. Um, Little Bow Wow's car, I drove that. Arnold Schwarzenegger's G wagon, drove that. It was a pretty cool job. You got to see a lot of stuff. And there was the office guys and there was the warehouse guys, and then we had one person named A1, the letter A, the number one. A1 was a character. Um, he was so calm, older African American gentleman. He was old. He was like, okay, I can't remember how old he was exactly. I think he was like 80 something, but he looked like he was 50. I mean, his skin was so uh, you just couldn't tell how old he was. He had the little Jerry curl going on. He had the gold tooth chains. This guy was from South LA and South Los Angeles, and this dude has a history. And we all thought he was the maintenance man. From the time he comes in and starts pushing, he clocks in, he grabs his push broom, starts walking around the warehouse, just pushing his push broom up and down the warehouse all shift long, unless there's like a toilet that needs to be fixed or something like that. Then we call him, A1, can you come pick this up? Or we have a spill over here. Can you come clean this up, mop this up? That was it. Other than that, the entire 8-hour shift, he was walking around with his push broom. So we knew, there was office guys like me, and there was warehouse guys, which was also me because I did both. And then they saw me learning in the warehouse, and they made me a supervisor, and became the youngest in the company. And we had A1, who was the maintenance man, slash janitor. And we just knew, like, when he comes in, he's going to be cleaning the whole warehouse floor and walking back and forth. And he was just so cool. And I used to smoke a lot back in the day. And so every time I come out for a cigarette, he'll come by and be like, hey, D, let me get one of those. I'm like, you don't smoke A1. He goes, yeah, I know, but I just want to take one home. And every day he'd ask me for one cigarette. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem, man. I didn't mind because, of course, there's always somebody in the warehouse who's going to come up and they mooch on you every day. Never buy a pack, but they want to ask you for a cigarette every single day. And then eventually you get, you start calling them out. I'm like, hey, man, how many times I got to give you a cigarette, man? You don't ever offer me nothing. You never tell me you got to pay me back. And you don't buy nothing. Like, why you smoke? Why even smoke? Anyways, A1 was cool, though. He was a nice guy. And he'd always come up like, hey, D, can I get one? I'm like, hey, I got one for you. I always give him one. And I asked him one day, like, what do you do with this? I don't ever see you smoke it. And he said he'd go home, he'd have half a beer, and he'd smoke a cigarette and then put it on the ashtray, and then it calmed him down enough to finally go to sleep. And he had two jobs at the airport, which a lot of the older folks at the airport did. They had a day job, and then they come work with us in the evening till 12:30, and then get a quick couple hours of sleep and come right back. Most of them lived down the street, and I was A1, and I was like, okay, I see. It helps you go to sleep. I was like, all right, whatever, man. He was just this nice, positive person. Always had a story, and then he started talking to me about stuff in his past. Um, he goes, "Hey, you ever heard of this band?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Well, I used to sing back in the day." And he starts telling me how, he had a 1975 Rolls Royce, all white with gold trim and leopard print on the chairs, on the seats. And I'm like, who drove that? Why would you have that car? That sounds like some kind of pimp drove that car. And he was like, well, I was like, really, A1? You know, this sweet old man who'd be sweeping the warehouse floor every day. I was like, wait a minute, you was a pimp? And he was like, back in the day, he starts telling me stories. And, he used to run a lot of business in the streets. And I was like, wow, that was interesting. And then he starts talking to me about, have you heard of this band? I said, no. And he said, well, I should sing in the band. I was like, really? And I was like, okay. And then he starts telling me stuff about being a musician, that he was well known in LA and Hollywood, and that he was supposed to be, I forgot for the life of me. I can't remember the name of the band. It was something like the Temptations back in the day, one of those groups that A1 was a part of. And he was like, yeah, I was with them. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, that's a pretty famous group. I can't remember, but it was a famous group. And Pimp Daddy A1. Yeah. Yeah. So he started telling me how he was a singer with them and a musician and composer and producer. And he would interview other people, and he got other people started in the industry, which became big. People like Turner and all this stuff. I was like, what? I was like, what are you doing here, man? So that's the case. And he starts talking about how he had a lot of battles with his lawyers about over royalties, and he could name a few songs on the radio, and he'd be like, that was me. I wrote that. I was like, wow, okay. And then he starts telling me about some of the darker side of the streets, and how he used to be involved in moving things around, transporting, moving things from one place to another. And then in Inglewood, there was a huge thing back in the 80s or 70s where um, dogs were attracted to this house. And every time somebody walked their dog past this house, dogs would go crazy. All right. And people just knew, like, man, is this house haunted? Like, every time so and so comes by with a dog, the dogs will go crazy. Um, finally somebody called to get this investigated, and they found a shoe, and then they found the foot. And so they started digging, and they found a 30-man grave back there. People got put away. And so he explains that he was part of that. And I was like, wow, I don't know what to say about that, and he was just like, well, it was just kind of how you survive. You either, get things done or you die. And he's just been regretting that his entire life, and had to walk away from the music industry, which is also the drug industry, which is also, other things. And he left it all behind and came to the airport and just started looking for decent work, uh, honest work. And so found it there at the airport. In the daytime, he was working at another company. And in the afternoon to evening swing shift, he worked with us sweeping the floors. And our manager was this sweet old man named John Gale. I believe he passed now. He was the one that promoted me to supervisor at such a young age, and there was a lot of people. He got a lot of backlash for it because people were like, "Oh, he doesn't know anything. He's young. He's green." But I held my weight. I pulled my weight and more, and I was eager to learn all I could, and so I did it. I did a good job, I believe. And then, and I guess he was tight with Albert Johnson, A1. He's the one that took care of him and said, "Look, you need to make money for your family. You work over here with Menzies in the morning. In the afternoon, come work with me. Just grab a broom and start sweeping. I got you." And pretty much set that up for him. And unfortunately, uh, somebody who I know and I'm very close to became the new manager. And they sent this the hatchet man down from San Francisco to come down to our company and start cutting loose ends. This was when 2008 hit and there was a recession. They sent the hatchet man down to our company to start cutting off any loose ends, any expenses that we didn't need. Um, a lot of management supervisors and managers got cut off and were given a lead job or less. And so I got demoted to lead because of this recession. Um, and here comes this new manager who I'm related to, which sucks. And he goes, "Who's that guy right there?" And they go, "Oh, that's A1." He goes, "Nobody's named A1. What's his real name?" And he found out his name was Albert Johnson. He's probably passed on by now. He goes, found out his name was Albert Johnson. He comes out and he goes, "Albert Johnson." And I was sitting there like, why would you pick on this sweet old man? Just leave him be. You know, leave him alone. Like, he's not bothering nobody. Calls him over, and A1 comes over, and he goes, "Yes, sir." And he spoke very respectfully. He also had like a southern accent. He's like, "Yes, sir." And he comes in, and this manager, the new manager, goes, "What's your title over here?" And he goes, "Well, I come over here and clean the floors and whatever mess there is, I clean it, I fix things." And he goes, "We already have a guy that comes in at night and he does all that. What's your position?" And he goes, "Well, I was told by Mr. Gale, I just come over here and sweep up." He goes, "Yeah, but that's not your job." He does a little bit more research and comes back and goes, "You're a warehouse worker." And he goes, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Well, how come you don't ever touch a box?" And he said, "Well, I wasn't told to." And then he goes, "Well, that's your job. Go start humping boxes or get out of here. Start moving boxes, like getting all sweaty and dirty like everybody else, or you can leave." And so never seen him touch a broom again. Sad to say, man. It's just I was so heartbroken. I was so heartbroken. I vouched for him, and I was just like, "Look, man, he does a big job here. He fulfills a big need. Um, you know, just leave him alone, man. Why not? Just he's all right. The warehouse is doing just fine. We're breaking everything down. We're doing everything we need and some." He was like, "Yeah, but the times are different right now." So unfortunately, he had to push him to do that. And so I'll go out there and I'll work next to A1, try to lighten the load for him. And I was like, "What's you good, sir? You need some water or what? Want to take a break? I got you." And he was like, "Nah, D, you good, all right?" And so he starts telling me that he's still in the music. He got back into the music industry a couple years ago. I was like, "What? What do you mean? Like, you about to drive a white Rolls Royce again?" Or and he was like, "I'm trying to." And he said he came up with a new song called "The Shiver," and that he's working with some young guys and young gals, and the girls were going to be in this music video, and some young guys from a college not too far from us, where they were going to film him and put him on a green screen, which is like crazy technology back in 2008. And we were like, "What? You're going to be on a green screen? Like, what is this?" And so they made him a little music video. And I don't know if it was on YouTube at the time. We did have MySpace. And so I think I saw him on MySpace and I was able to watch his video. I can't find it now. It was called The Shiver by Albert Johnson. Um, and you just, it was sad because I'm a musician, I'm into music. That song was never going to go anywhere. To be realistic, that song was never going to, it's out of date, it's outdated, old school kind of funk, which it's just pretty. At that time, it wasn't happening. Um, and I hear music in the background. Oh my gosh, I got an ad running in the back. What a rookie! He goes, but I saw him, and he was just In the music video, he was happy as can be, happiest I've ever seen him. Besides the time where he used to walk by me with that push broom and just smile, like, "How you doing? Having a good day?" That was the happiest I've seen him. But in that music video, oh my goodness, it was just overflowing with joy. This is him in his element, doing what he loves, doing what he's passionate about. You could tell that as a young person, yeah, he got into some bad stuff, but he was music was in his heart, producing music, writing music, singing. Uh, and you just see this person lit up. And I saw him on that video, and I saw him just overjoyed, and I saw the smile on his face. I never forget it. I still remember the outfit he wore. I'm about to buy a shirt just like his. It's like a navy blue with a bunch of, um, sometimes they have like the anchor print or palm tree print or something like that. And they were like little polka dots, but there was some kind of emblem there. But I remember the shirt, what it looked like. And I remember him dancing on the green screen. His backup dancers, he had backup dancers going. And I'm like, look at you, A1. Like, wow. I mean, the music is old school music. We wasn't going to get anywhere. The lyrics weren't that great, but it was just good to see a person doing what he loved to do, being in his element. And for him to still pursue that at a time where here he is in his old age working two jobs, and his our boneheaded manager, who was my uncle, love him, but that was a dick move. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. That was a dick move. um you know Seriously, just power tripping. um and I see A1 now on this little video on MySpace. Which, shout out to MySpace, man. That's where I met my wife. And so, um, yeah, here he is, man. Just all proud to show me this video, um, which we were watching on a sidekick at the time. And I can never remember, I never forget the joy that he had, that swelling pride of, here, this is what I do. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm about. Um, and that left an impression on me that when you want to do something, doesn't matter your obstacles, it doesn't matter what's in your way, you can still get out there and get it done. And yeah, maybe you're not gonna make millions out of it. You're not gonna buy a Rolls Royce by this kind of stuff, but it's something that you feel good about, something you feel good about, something you love to do, something you enjoy doing. If you enjoy doing something, man, do it. You don't have much time on this earth, and you definitely don't want to spend any of that time regretting not getting it done. So today I remember A1, Albert Johnson, and the impression he left on me. And that is that you can't let terrible people who want to step on you, stomp on you, make you feel terrible, make you feel bad. You can't let those kind of people keep you down. You just press on. Just do your thing. It's not, and don't let it be. Don't be money motivated either. It's him. I can see it, man. When this smile, maybe when he was young, it was about the money. It was about getting fame. But maybe he had lost his way, and he gotten away from the love of doing what he likes to do, the passion of his craft, music, developing music, producing music. Maybe he gotten away from it when he was a younger man and wanted the Rolls Royce to show, look how good I am. Look how much money I make from this. Maybe he got away from the love and passion, but in his old age, and you see him back in that element, and it was so good. Oh my gosh. I didn't care about the music. At first, I was like, let me hear some good music, because he knew I like funk. I'm a bass player. I gotta like the funk. Um, and then afterwards, my first thoughts were like, "Oh, this song is not all that," but it wasn't about how good the music was. It was just about being passionate about what you do. Yeah. Steve says, "Yes, sir. Only thing stopping you is you." Absolutely, absolutely. It's not other people. Yeah, they'll get in your way. People will get in your way. They might discourage you. They might say something to try to trip you up. Uh, but in all reality, it's how you respond. You know, if you respond like, "Oh, they didn't like it," I better stop. We don't get far like that. But yeah, I don't know where Albert Johnson is today. I don't know where A1 is. The man who had 30 bodies in the back of his back of his house and was a pimp. But I believe that he's moved on from that life and went to something. He did find decent work. He worked his butt off. When I saw him working in the morning one day, I was like, "Dude, this is what you do before you come and work with me." Wow, man. I give him all the props. In his old age, doing it. Um, you know, it's good to see, man. Anyways, A1 left an impression on me. Um, People will break your heart with the crap that they do, the stuff they say. But don't let it keep you down, man. You find a way to stay youthful. You find a way to stay filled with joy. You find a way to keep on with your passion because you don't got much time. You know, don't waste your life dwelling on other people's stuff, other people's words. Let them deal with their crap. You just be you. You know. Let's see. If you say you can, you can't. Yeah, that's right. If you say you can, you can't. Either way, you're right. I choose to always be able to can't. That's right, man. I forgot who said that. Was it Ford? I forgot. And whoever is it, you got it, man. You got it. So, yeah, I got some people in my life who maybe they were in my life for just a moment, but I haven't forgotten them. And I was just thinking about it the other day. Somebody said this on Instagram. They made a little video and they said, think about this when, before you move a little further in your life, in 100 years from now, in 100 years from now, think about this. And I'm probably paraphrasing her right now what she said. Said in 100 years from now, that house that you work so hard for, it's not going to be yours anymore. Probably won't be your children's or your grandchildren's anymore. It might be, but it probably won't. That car you're working so hard for is not going to be yours in 100 years, and it's probably not going to be your children or grandchildren either. Everything that you're fighting hard for remembrance, they probably won't remember your name. Do you know your great great grandfather's name? Some of us do. Most of us don't. How about your great grandfather? Do you know his favorite color? What he liked to eat? The fact is this: in 100 years, man, we're gonna be gone with the wind. It's not the things that we buy, the things that we own in this life. We don't own it. You know what I'm saying? Because in 100 years from now, nobody knew you. Nobody. You're gonna be forgotten. It is what it is. We're gonna be forgotten. But at least in our time, we'd be able to influence the next generation by the words we say, the things that we do, the way we treat others. When you make somebody feel good with your words, your actions, a hug, a high five, a salute, or even a smile, you pass that on to the next generation and they learn from you. Hopefully. God, I hope they learn. I hope they pick up, I learned from my dad. I hope my children learn from them. And in that way, you become immortalized, Not that that's what we're seeking, but your car will only last so long. Your house will only last for so long. Your money ain't going to last. But you teach your children how to be loving, courteous, respectful. That's how we change the world. That's how we change the world. Oh, and fear God. Let me not forget. Fear God and His word. Respect His word. You know? Yeah. Great Grandpa Harry. Favorite color green. Oh, look at you. He loved to play guitar. It was really good at electric guitar. Yeah, I'm very blessed to know and remember. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. My grandpa, I can tell you stuff about him. Great grandfather. Only great grandparent I met was my great grandmother Langi. Um, only thing I remember about her was that she loved to drink tea, and that I would make about 8 kettles of tea a day, and I hated it. Man, you could never make me take a nap. But when my great grandma would call my name, I'd be like, I'm out. Couldn't run anywhere, so I pretend I'm sleeping. But yeah. Oh, anyways, I'm gonna try to get some rest because I still gotta go to the DMV to take care of some business tomorrow. But I'm gonna leave it at that. And hope for those of you who are here, thank you guys, for being here. Much love and respect to you all, brother Steve, man. Aloha, thank you, brother, for coming. Appreciate you, man. And yeah, continue to spread love, respect one another. You know, give somebody a hug if you can. If it's weird, just say hello. Anyways, I'm out. God bless you guys, man. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Steve. Thank you so much, man, for all you do. Oh, I see. I'll remember you, Sharon. Tell you that. All right, you guys. I'm out. God bless.